This is Charlie Parsons for the Stomping Ground, available on DAZN. Mr. Andrew Tate.
How you doing, sir?
Thank you very much for your time.
No problem.
This Tuesday afternoon. I have to say this is the most Dubai Tuesday afternoon in existence. I wake up, I find myself watching you do 12 rounds on pads.
Yeah.
Looking sharp, I must say.
Thank you.
How are you enjoying the experience of being back in the ring, being back in that fighting mentality?
Yeah, I never really got out of shape. I've been training the whole time I've been retired, but you know, I always wondered how I'd do in a fight camp, and I'm surprised by myself, to be honest. I really do feel amazing. I really feel amazing. Even my old injuries, I thought I might come back, haven't come back. I've got no excuses for this fight. I feel top shape, I feel fantastic. I've trained 100% dedicated, never missed a day, never missed a session, never been late, you know, never been lazy, never skipped anything. So really, I feel amazing.
I messaged Warren yesterday, he set this up. I said, I've dealt with AJ, Fury, Canelo, etc. I've never had a team so easy to deal with, which took me back a little bit, if I'm honest. Even turning up today, it was as simple as just sitting you down, having a chat, and doing the interview. Why is that?
Yeah, because, you know, I'm a global superstar now, that's true. And I'm also a very rich man, that's true. But I'm just a guy from Luton, bro. You know, I'm not a superstar, I'm not rich. I'm just a guy from Luton who everybody knows who has a lot of money. It's a different thing. So I'm a normal guy, bro. I'm just a normal guy who the whole world knows.
I appreciate that. Thank you for your time anyway. You're fighting on Misfits.
Correct.
Calla and Mams of speaking very highly of you, working with you.
Yeah.
What's been those kind of initial conversations? Why Misfits? Why them?
Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, promotions around. There was obviously in the influencer boxing space, we have Jake and MVP and Misfits. Those are the two biggest ones. And I was in two minds whether I was going to fight or not for a while. Then everything started to make sense. KSI annoyed me. I wanted to take his company. And once I took his company, I was always going to make Misfits the biggest thing. Then I thought, you know, let me get in there and do it myself. Let me put my money where my mouth is. So things just came together with Providence. It all worked out, and I'm very excited for the upcoming fight.
What's been the kind of biggest learning curve, not learning curve, but the biggest thing you've realised so far in the whole build-up, and I suppose from a social perspective, the whole back and forth with KSI, etc.?
Yeah, I think that influencer boxing is fantastic for the world. I think it's good that we've gotten rid of Twitter beefs and people just fight now. I actually think that's a good thing. But then also, on the other side of it, I think some people take it a bit too far. I think there's still, I don't know, I'm from the old school boxing where it's a bit more gentlemanly. You're allowed to dislike your opponent, of course, because you're going to fight. But sometimes I see people insulting each other's coaches and all these kind of things. You know, I think they go a bit far. It's a bit drama, a bit female. I don't like to do that. I like to shake a man's hand, fight him, and then shake hands afterwards. Maybe I'm old-fashioned.
No, I kind of get that. I mean, we traditionally in professional boxing, you get a bit of bravado here and there, but tends to be... I suppose you need to sell a fight without making it too corny at the same time.
Of course, yeah, you have to sell a fight. I totally understand that. But, you know, I actually truthfully respect every man who gets in the ring. I have huge respect for everybody who is involved in this sport. And I think that the world would be a better place if more men were brave enough to train hard and get in the ring and fight. So I'm a fan of all fighters. I'm a fan of everybody who gets in there. I have huge respect for everybody who does it. So I'm really just a fight fan. I'm just glad to be part of it, glad to be here, and I'm glad God blessed me with the skills to be good at this.
You're going for Chase Damour's title, but let's be real, he's the one that's going to take a lot out of this opportunity here.
Of course.
I had a little scroll through his Twitter. His bio says that he's your daddy. He's called you a bum, and he considers himself the Matrix last hope at beating you. What have you made of that? Is he just kind of doing his thing to sell it?
Yeah, I mean, nobody knows who Chase is, and nobody cares who Chase is. I've given him a huge opportunity here. And, you know, perhaps he should be a bit more respectful to me. If I was in his position, I'd be very respectful for the chance. He's not very respectful to me. He thinks that, you know, I've given him this chance and he should just disrespect me for it. That's up to him. Truthfully, everyone's there to watch me. No one's there to watch Chase. I could change my opponent today, and I could make more money, and people would watch it. So I could get rid of him. Nobody cares about him.
Have you considered doing that?
I've been offered a lot more money to fight other people. Yeah. You know, this is the Andrew Tate show. So face the floor. It doesn't matter if he's in the ring or not. And we'll see. I probably will fight him. Probably. But I want him to be very aware that this is my show. This is not his show.
What do you make of his fighting ability that he's shown so far?
You know, I'm not really one for studying opponents. I don't really believe in that. I think that when you get in there, everything's different. I think it's best to rely on instincts. I don't really study opponents. I know he's big. I know he's training hard. I know he's brave. And he's a young man trying to punch me in the face. Like, you can go to the street and find a guy who's never trained in his life. He tries to punch you in the face. It's a serious incident. So I'm training hard. I feel fantastic. I'm prepared for him. I know what he's roughly going to do because he has a right hand and a left hand. And that's enough for me to know.
You've always stayed busy in terms of showing videos of you sparring, like you say, keeping fit and everything. Former world champion kickboxer, multiple-time world champion kickboxer. What's been different about preparing for the, I suppose, solely boxing game this time round? Obviously, you would have done a lot of that, but when it comes to sparring, etc.
Oh, bro, I love it. I love boxing. In fact, I'm so glad this is a boxing fight instead of a kickboxing match.
How come?
Your ankles, your knees, your shins get messed up. You can barely walk. Low kicks, like all that damage. I mean, I was a kickboxer because that's what paid me at the time. I needed to pay the bills, and that's what I got paid for. But I've always been good with my hands, and I'm very actually glad when I walk in the gym and think, you know what, I don't have to break any toes today. I don't have to get an ankle the size of, I don't have to double the size of my ankle blocking low kicks. It's actually very refreshing to just punch, because boxing, if you train right and you train smart, you can get in fantastic shape without really hurting yourself. Kickboxing is a lot harder to pull that off.
You're 38 years of age now.
Yeah.
And like you said, you feel young, you feel fresh, you feel ready. Is it a matter of having this fight, keeping the momentum? What do you yourself want to achieve out of all of this? Because I assume it's not really for the money.
It's not for the money or the fame. But God blesses us with X amount of time on the planet. And I think we need to use it to the best of our ability. And I've been going through the last 3 years of being locked up. I finally get free. A lot of people in my position would just jump on a yacht and relax. And I understand why most people would do that, but I'm not most people. I'm the top G. And I'm not going to be able to fight forever, so while I can still fight, I'm going to fight. So hopefully I fight 5 or 6 times next year.
Okay.
Once I'm in shape, I might as well stay there. There's always someone who needs to get punched in the face. There's plenty of money to make. And even though I am exceptionally wealthy, I like money. I love money. I have many children and many women to pay for.
I suppose we can look at the scene of who's out there, the immediate names that come to mind: KSI, Jake Paul. You say you want to fight as much as 6 times next year.
Absolutely, why not?
What's your hit list? Do you have a hit list?
Don't have a hit list. I don't give a shit. I don't think fighting's about the opponent. Fighting's about you versus you. Chase is focused on me. I'm focused on me. This is all about me. The world is focused on me. My concerns, if I have any, are about me. This whole fight's about me. I don't care if Chase is in there. I don't care if he shows up or not. I don't care if I replace him with someone else. It doesn't matter if I'm fighting him, an elephant, a tree, a punchback. It's nothing to do with anyone else. If you tell me a name, I just want to make sure the money reflects the name. That's all it is. As soon as you tell me a name, it's about the money, and as long as the money matches up, then it's me versus me the whole way through.
What do you admire about the art of boxing?
I think the world was a better place when straighteners fixed things instead of a blade.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and I think that, boxing is probably one of the bravest things a young man can do. And I think it's fantastic for the world when young men are brave, because I think using knives and guns and these things are an act of cowardice. So I think that the natural masculine imperative to test yourself and dedicate yourself to something in a fair fight is something that we're missing in the society today. And it's such a shame that, the world and the matrix and the government want to pretend I'm the issue for teaching young men to stick up for themselves and be brave and be strong, when it's actually the very much opposite of that that's destroying the world. It's the fact that a bunch of men are cowards now, that we have the problems we have in the world.
When you look at fighting, I suppose one thing that you don't necessarily have to consider, but defeat is always an option. You would have tasted defeat in the past when it comes to kickboxing. Is there a stigma around that in your mind? I suppose you can never think about it, but it is always an option.
I'm not worried about winning and losing. I am not even fighting to win and lose. I'm fighting to fight. I don't winning and losing, neither crosses my mind at either point. I'm fighting to fight. I want to fight. That's it. I can't even discuss what would happen if I lost, because I can't imagine that frame. But I also can't discuss what would happen if I win. I don't think that way. I'm training for a fight because I want to go and fight. I don't give a fuck about what people say about me. I don't care what people are going to say after I win. I don't care what people would say if he wins. I don't care what people say, because the crowd is fickle. Look at Devin Haney. Everyone hated him. Now they love him again. The people mean nothing. This is about me testing myself and enjoying the experience, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm very excited to just get in there and throw hands. I don't really give a shit about anything afterwards.
See, that's an attitude that I thought you would give me, but I don't think the general public would necessarily have that impression.
If you're in a training camp and you're concerned about winning, you have a problem. If you're sitting there going, oh, I really need to win, I really want to win, that's the wrong mentality. I want to fight. I want to fight. That's what I want to do.
Is there beef with you and KSI? I mean, he's tweeted a couple of things out. Obviously, you're the new CEO of Misfits Boxing. I think he's tweeted that you didn't promo the fight in Nashville and stuff like that.
He's an idiot. I tried to be nice to him a few times on Twitter when he was fighting and tried to show him respect, and he just replied stupid, asinine bullshit. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's a little bit low IQ. Like, I tried to be his friend, and he was just retarded. And then from then on out, I got a big pile of money out and decided to take his company from him, which I've done. So now he's lost his company, so I'm sure he's upset about that. But hopefully, there's a point in the future where he can come to his senses and realize that, there's nothing to actually fight about. I have nothing against the guy. I don't know the guy. I just think he's a bit simple.
I suppose also, I know we spoke about bravado and whatever, but a fight with yourself and KSI would be an absolute mega fight. Does millions of pay-per-view buys around the world. Fight. An incredible event.
Huge.
Do you, when you close your eyes, I don't know if you envision fights or see them playing out, is there a scenario in which you see yourself knocking them out?
There's a scenario where I knock out KSI. There's a scenario where I knock out anyone on the planet. Everything is doable. It's a big, beautiful world full of opportunity and possibility. I've given a nobody a chance now because, it's good to build up the profile of Misfits as a whole, and he's a Misfits fighter. So I've given a nobody a chance, but when he's out the way, there's going to be some much bigger names.
A couple of years ago, you faced off with Jake Paul.
Yeah.
You mentioned MVP at the start of this conversation. They've kind of dabbled in the professional game as well, a lot of kind of female world champions. Obviously, Jake is now fighting Anthony Joshua. Just your initial reaction to when you saw that announced, to go from Gervonta Davis to Anthony Joshua.
When I agreed this fight against Chase, I was going to say that, look, I'm first time back in a few years, influencer boxing, and I'm not fighting someone older than me. I'm not fighting someone smaller than me. I'm not fighting someone retired. I'm fighting an active champion. That's what a real man does. And that was going to be a dig at Jake Paul for fighting older people or smaller people. But now he's fighting AJ.
Fair.
So complete respect, huge respect to Jake Paul. I have nothing bad to say about Jake. Everything I was going to say, I can no longer say. So fair play to him. He's a brave man. He believes in himself. And I wish him and AJ a fantastic fight, and I hope they both come out without injury and without any problems and without any health issues.
I was out in Riyadh with Eddie Hearn last week. I was asking him about the fight. I suppose a lot of the talk online is that can't be real.
No, it's real.
It is real. That's what I've been told.
It's real. It's real. And, there's business reasons. There's business decisions. And I understand that, for Jake, it's retirement money, worst case. But I just hope everyone gets out of there without any physical injury. And I really do have a lot of respect for Jake. Everything I was going to say, I can no longer say. And I'm a very fair man. I don't take it personal. Like, there was a time when Jake was really insulting me, and Logan Paul hated me, and all these things, and KSI insulted me, and Chase insults me, other people insult me. I'm really just, I'm just a normal dude. I have respect for people who do things that are worthy of respect. I harbor no hate in my heart. I wish Jake the absolute best.
The fight game. I think I'm 22, I see it from a social media perspective, I see it from a financial perspective. I've been at some of AJ's finest moments and watched them up close. To see him in that, I can't hate it. I know that financially it's right. Is there a duty of care that the sanctioning bodies have for things like that?
Nah.
How come?
Jake's the same size, and Jake isn't a YouTuber. Everyone needs to stop talking like Jake is a YouTuber. Jake is a boxer. Jake has more money than 99% of professional boxers on the planet. He has a full-time training camp. He lives with a full-time gym, full-time trainers. He's dedicated his life to this sport for nearly 7 or 8 years. That's a professional boxer. He's an ex-YouTuber. And this whole narrative, I'm just a YouTuber, is a really good sales tactic, because Jake is a boxer, and he is at heavyweight. So it's a heavyweight boxer against a heavyweight boxer.
There's levels to the game, though, right?
Of course there's levels to the game. There's also levels to the money. And both AJ and Jake are being very well rewarded for this financially, and they're both two full-grown men who are making a decision to get in the ring and fight. And at the end of the day, boxing is boxing. And if they're sanctioned, they're sanctioned.
You would assume that Anthony Joshua goes in and does what he wants?
I love AJ. He's a great guy. I like Jake. He's a great guy. I really just am hoping everyone gets out of there safe and that nothing bad happens to anybody. That's my number one concern all the time when I'm fighting. Is that also I hope nothing happens to my opponents. There's been unfortunate circumstances in my past where I've really badly hurt people, and I just don't want anyone to get hurt. I want everyone to wake up. or finish and shake hands and enjoy the rest of the day.
It's a little bit what Chris Eubank Jr. mentioned on his fight week. Obviously, there was his incident with Nick Blackwell, his father's incident with Michael Watson. There's no kind of sugarcoating just how dangerous this sport can truly be as well. I suppose moving forward then, just enjoying it, staying active, enjoying you've always been disciplined. Is it installing another state of discipline within you?
I was always training. I've trained every day for the last 7 years anyway. You know, I've just had to add a bit more. So I've always been disciplined. I've always loved the sport. It's just, I'm very lucky. I got a fantastic opportunity to walk out there in front of thousands of people who are going to scream my name. And I get to put on a show for the world. I'm a very fortunate man. I give absolute, credit to Mams and Misfits for having me on and bringing me part of it. And also huge respect to everyone else who's going to get in there. And also I'm very thankful to God. I'm very grateful that I get this opportunity. I get the opportunity to get in there and people to know who I am and watch me fight. I really just feel thankful. I feel happy. I feel full of love. And I can't wait to get in there on fight night and get it done.
What do you still want to achieve out of life, Andrew?
I need to have more sons.
More?
Sons.
Okay.
I need 20 sons.
20 sons?
20.
Am I allowed to ask what you're at the minute?
Quite a few. But I need more ovens to bake the bread because women are too slow. But I'm getting there. So once I have 20 sons, my life's complete. I've been a world champion athlete. I've been the most Googled man on the planet. I have hundreds of millions of dollars. I have every car you can buy. I have a yacht. I have 15 properties around the world. I have everything. There's nothing to buy. I have 100 diamond watches. I have everything. All I need is 20 sons now and I'm done. So we're going to get the 20 sons done. I'm going to fight for the next couple of years.
What happens when you hit the 20 son mark?
Then I have to train them all.
Okay.
So then that's my new life path.
Long-distance plan of the 20 sons.
Absolutely. They'll be my future security team.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to work on.
All right, Andrew, look, I really appreciate your time. Final message down the lens, obviously, December the 20th, out in Dubai. What can the fans around the world expect from the return of Andrew Tate in the boxing?
Expect to see me really enjoy myself. I'm really going to enjoy myself. I'm going to test myself. We're going to try some new things that have never been tried before. And I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very excited for the night.
It's been a pleasure to watch you train, and thank you for accommodating us this afternoon. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.